Well, a very good evening. Yes, I said evening. Welcome back to the Huddle. We're in the Huddle, show 26. And apparently a major football game's taking place in Kern County. So we said, let's go over there and check it out and see what's going on. Welcome to In the Huddle. I'm Vance Palm, your host. We are with the Director of School Support Services, the visionary that started all of this, Stan Green. We're going to hear from him in a moment. Our real true soldier who's been boots on the ground since day one in the Huddle, Trevor Horn. And we have a very, very special guest tonight for this big-time game. When it gets to be this important, we bring out the big guns. Stan, who in the world is our guest tonight? First segment, we have a guest. First segment.
You know what? And I feel like every time we do something like this, I say, man, I love this guy or I love this gal. They're my favorite. But I was here when Adam was here in the 90s, 2000s, or mid-2000s, I think.
2005.
Yeah, so he was a driller. He's a driller true and true. He's one of my favorite people. He's one of our newest coaches in the district. Went to North High this year and did a fantastic job. And him and his family, from his wife Tiffany up to his mom and dad, have just bought in. And the culture he's building at North High is amazing. And he's an awesome person, man. Adam Levinson.
Coach is with me on the call tonight. So in less than an hour, we're going to scale the stairs you used to run as a player here in the summertime. We're going to make this call. We're going to get a lot going on. And we have a ton to cover. We have some super elite guests waiting to come on the set, and Trevor's got a ton of information. He's been digging all week long. So before we do that, we do want to get a recap of your season, kind of a brushstroke, Coach, of how it went at North High this year.
Yes, sir. We had a great year over at North High. We battled through some adversity, and we overcame some struggles early. We started out the season 2-1, and then we went on a little bit of a 4-game losing streak. But we bounced back, and we ended on a 4-game winning streak, including a big win at home against Templeton in the playoffs in round 1. And then, last week, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the job done up in Shafter. But overall, it was a great year, and it was a great first year to build the foundation for the future of the program.
Trevor, you've been all over this story since he was hired. You've loved it every minute of it. You've talked about it throughout the entire season of In the Huddle of what North High is going to be experiencing under Coach Levinson. Your thoughts?
Levy's my guy. This is the thing, is that we worked together for the last 5 years hand in hand, and when he was the offensive coordinator at Garson Memorial, when I was up there, sports information director. So for him to get this first job as a head coach, it brings me so much pride to see him and then watch you do what you did this year. And I don't think I'm out of line when I say that you tried to kind of mimic what Coach Gola did there at first, and then you realized that you found your own footing and you started to put your own stamp on the program. What week do you think that you finally said, you know what, this is me, this is my program, this is the way that I'm going to do it now?
You know what? I think it was a process throughout the year. We did try to copy a lot of the same things that Coach Gola brought to BHS back when I was here, my senior year, and we did things like sleep in the gym, and we tried to run, running the triple option offense, and running an odd defense, but I think that ultimately when you're coaching football out in Oildale, it's kind of a different community out there, and once I got ingratiated with that community and I realized what it was all about, that's when things started to turn. So probably right about when league started, I would say.
Well, I would say right around the end of July is when I knew that you bought into the Oildale community, because on a Sunday morning, we both walked into Naughty Pine, and you had your whole coaching staff there.
Okay, so here we go. First segment, Coach, because I'm working you tonight. You're going to be on the mic all night long, so your segment's not going to be too long, but we want to cover 3 things. We're going to go the surprise of the year, the hottest team of the year, and who your pick is. So I hope you've built up some intestinal fortitude for that third one. I don't know who you'll pick tonight for the win. Surprise of the year, Stan Green. We'll start with you, your surprise of the year.
Man, I'll tell you what, I want to say North High, but I think for me it's Miramonte right now. I think back to the Thursday night, the very first game of the season. I saw Christian Johnson in the end zone, and he said, we're going to be good this year. And then he went 1-3, and I thought, oh, my God. You're right. And then he's caught on fire, and I think they have a great chance to win tonight. So Miramonte is my surprise of the year.
Trevor Horn, surprise of the year.
These guys right here. For him to be able to come in his first year and do what he did, win 6 games, get into the playoffs and win a playoff game against Templeton the way you did, that right there is the big surprise. Next year, you will not be a surprise.
Adam Levinson, surprise of the year.
Well, Stan beat me to the punch, but I'm going with Miramonte as well. Coach Christian Johnson did a great job this year. Overall record of 6-6, and they're facing the Minaret Mustangs tonight. And I think you're right, Coach. I think they have a great opportunity.
Yeah. My surprise of the year, they're not going to want to hear it because they're going to say all along, we knew who we were, South High Spartans. I thought they did a really great job.
That's a
okay,
good pick.
next topic. Hottest team of the year, Stan Green. Who's flaming hot right now? Who is it?
I feel like it's got to be Shafter. I feel like that's the hottest team right now. They got their guys back. They're healthy. They're rolling. And we're going to see what happens tonight.
Trevor Horn, hottest team of the year right now. Who's on it?
The Miramonte Lions. They've run 2 road games, and now here they are having to go back on the road again, and they might be playing in the rain. There might be a little bit of rain in O'Neill's, and that's going to only benefit the Lions over a very pass-heavy team for Minarets.
Coach Levinson, hottest team right tonight as we speak.
You know what? I got to go with the Drillers, Nance. 11-1 season. Only loss was to BCHS in a 1-point deficit, 24-23. So I think that they're the hot hand.
I'll go on record talking to the Shafter Generals as well. It looks like, and the key factor is everybody's back. Their whole core group is back. I mean, they're running over guys without him now that everybody's back. So not really dangerous picks. All right, towards the end of this in the huddle, Trevor and Stan, maybe myself, will make a pick. We're going to have some drillers on here. They'll make their picks. We have some Frontier Titans coming. They'll make their picks. But we can't let you go before you make your pick tonight. Adam Levinson, North High School star, superstar. I got his resume here that I'm going to break out with on the network on our call tonight. Valley champion player, Valley champion coach, current coach, you BHS blood in you. But, my friend, you are now an analyst for tonight. Who is your call to win this big Valley Championship game between the Frontier Titans and the BHS Drillers?
You know what? I'm going with the Drillers. I think it's really going to come down to who controls the line of scrimmage and who wins the turnover battle. It's going to be a game of possession. I know that Frontier has a powerful offense, and they're going to come out swinging, but ultimately playing at home, I got to give it to the Drillers tonight.
We have 30 seconds. Trevor, you and Stan can each give Coach one more question before we go. Trev.
When you look at a game like this and you've got a team that's won more section titles than anybody except for De La Salle in the state, and then another one looking for their first one, what's your speech to those two? What are those two coaches saying tonight?
You know, my speech is always, hey, we got to stay focused on the process. We got to do what's got us here, which is for BHS, run the ball well, and like I said, control the line of scrimmage. And if I'm Frontier, I'm saying, hey, we're coming out, we're high flying, and we're getting after them.
Love it. Stan, 30 seconds, bud.
Great commentary. I don't have a question, man. I just want to tell you I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, thank you.
I love you. You have exceeded my expectations. When they called me and said, what do you think? And I told them, and I'm like, he's going to do good. I don't know how long it's going to take, but, man, you hit it out of the park, brother.
Well,
So
I appreciate the opportunity. I really do.
That's my partner coming up at 7 p.m. for kickoff. Head coach Adam Levinson, North High School Stars, Driller blood, but tonight he's going to be on the mic. Trevor, I know you want to shake his hand, so do I. Stan, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll be back second quarter coming up right after this. We have some more big shots coming up in the huddle. Adam, see you upstairs, buddy.
Yes.
Valley Strong's youth accounts help kids practice earning and spending in the real world.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Because when we plant financial literacy young, it grows the rest of their lives.
Welcome back to In the Huddle. That's how we roll here, man. You're in, you're out. You got a chance to shine, and you better shine or you're out. And, boy, Levinson sure did. He absolutely got it going. I'll tell you what. Scoot forward here, Coach. I'll tell you what. You talk about a get. This is a get on the show here. I remember one time I tried to get a certain player. I couldn't get him. I was like, man, whatever. This was a snag by the head man, Stan Green, to get this guy. When I saw the notes that he was going to be with us, I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you serious, Stan? Who is this guy?
This is Mr. BHS right here. You know, you got these generational players of all-time drillers, and we looked at the list and we're like, well, we got to get this dude, man. He's the AP from the adult school. He went to San Diego State after he left this place, and I would argue that he might have started the Drillers' biggest run ever of 39-0. Chad Provençal.
Coach, it is a total pleasure to have you with us. I've been doing this so long. I called your games when you were a coach and a head coach, and it's just unbelievable that you're actually sitting here. I won't get too in awe and idolize you and start asking you questions. My man, you played in some big games, really big games, coaching some really big games. Is tonight different in any way? And if it is different, why and how? And why is – I mean, I know social network plays a big role in it. That wasn't as prevalent back 10, 12 years ago, but this seems like this is taking the city and the county by storm.
Yeah, it's really cool to have a big game back in town. The town's so much more spread out than when I was in high school. I think when I came here, we everybody went to BHS. It seemed like, with Fraser Mountain. Everybody. We were a huge school, and they're trying to bring that pride back with Coach Sheehy, and I think he's doing a great job.
What do you like about these drillers?
Well, they got speed everywhere. I think where they might be lacking a little bit, which we definitely weren't when I played, is in the trenches. And I think they're building that back up too now. But we were just huge and able to handle people in the trenches. I think skill-wise, this team's every bit as good as any of the other ones that have come through.
T-Horn?
Chad, when you look at it, in 1988, you guys were right here, and you beat West High 21-10. And that was the last time 2 Kern High school districts played for a section Division I championship. It's been 36 years.
Wow.
When you think about this happening again now and you being here tonight, do you get chills when you think about stuff like that the environment that there is tonight?
Yeah, it's cool because, obviously I played here, and then I came back and I coached at BHS, and then I coached at Liberty for a while. And just seeing these kids getting the opportunity to come play in front of a big crowd, and they're nervous. I'm sure their parents are very nervous today. And,
more nervous.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to ask you a question. You've been in a section championship as a player, as a coach, and as a dad. What is the most nerve-wracking of those 3?
Dad.
Yep, I knew that was going to be the answer.
No questions.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
Stan, what do you have?
You just can't control anything.
No, you're just up there and you're hoping that he does the best that he can and the team does what they did. But they did some good things there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Hey, so we all love high school sports, and I think a lot of that is because it's something that everyone can relate to. There aren't that many people that get to go play in college, and even less get to play in pro, so a lot of people can relate to it. What is your greatest memory at Bakersfield High School as a player?
Wow.
Yeah, he was just mentioning, playing right out here. And right out here, my junior year, we played Lemoore. And every play I had to face Lorenzo Neal. Right out
Oh, man.
And they were just unbelievable, and we were lucky enough to beat them. But, yeah, right here. And then we went up the next week and played West High my junior year. And that was kind of the start of everything. I played on the first 2 undefeated teams, and then when I left, the third undefeated team with the 39-0 run. But it was definitely that junior year, when everything's so fresh and you're not used to winning, and you just go out and kind of like shock everybody. And that, like you were saying, that was the last time that two teams from Bakersfield played in the Valley title.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You had Garces beating Foothill back in 2006, but to have 2 Kern High School District teams playing against each other, this is a historic moment. This is so much fun. And you look at that run that you guys were on, tied for 17th all time in the state of California for an undefeated streak, thanks to Cal High Sports for keeping those records up. It's absolutely phenomenal. When you look at that and you look back on that team, we have state championships now. We've had state championships now for almost 20 years. 2, 3? How many would you guys have won back in the 80s?
Oh, I don't know. I think my senior, I think we probably could have competed with anybody because it was very different back then. Yeah. I think now people ask me, well, could you compete? I said, I don't think we could because you got basically all-star teams now, like Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, even De La Salle. Can you compete with them? I said, there's no way. They would have probably beat us by 5 or 6 touchdowns.
But thankfully, there are different divisions, and they get put in a different sandbox.
Yep. All right, Coach. It's that time for you to make your big pick. By the way, for all of our younger viewers out there watching this in the huddle, one of the baddest dudes of all time, and a bad dude. I talked to a lot of guys that have played this game and a lot of drillers, and Provençal's name comes up all the time. Coach, who's your pick tonight?
Well, obviously, obviously
he's got his driller.
That's the same thing I was going to say about Levinson too.
Obviously, I got to go with the drillers, but it wasn't that easy because somebody that really always supported me in my coaching career when I started off at Liberty was the Campbell family, and his son's playing here tonight, so I want to see Brady play really well, but no way am I picking against the drillers.
There you go.
We'll close with that. CP, thank you, buddy. We'll see you later. Coach Provençal, what a stud. We'll see you in a few minutes,
You guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
Valley Strong's youth accounts help kids practice earning and spending in the real world.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Because when we plant financial literacy young, it grows the rest of their lives.
Okay, we're back with the third quarter. And we've had enough of all this driller stuff. Enough, all right? We're on their campus. I got in trouble for wearing a Frontier beanie to a golf tournament earlier this week. It was 40 degrees out, and I had it in my truck, and I put it on. Man, I almost got sent up the road. So now let's get some Titans on here. Last Friday night, Centennial at Frontier. It's, freezing by my standards. Not somebody that lives up in the valley, but it's freezing by my standards. So I come down in Titan Tom's oven of a press box, and I'm getting cozy and warm, and these two superstars walk in, and I was kind of just eavesdropping, and they didn't know I was there, and this and that. Finally, we said hi and how you doing, and you and I talked a few weeks earlier before that, but then Stan and I were talking and said, look, we got to get some Titans on the set, and I go, who do you want? And I go, get a hold of Cornford right now, and 24 hours later, we've got him on. Stan, thank you. Great guest, and I'm looking forward to this. Who do we have here?
Yeah, so Coach Cornford is so proud of these guys. It's so nice to hear him talk about you guys and your accolades. We have Evan Moore from the 2012 team, quarterback. And then, cool enough, we got a guy, he's so cool, he didn't even have a name. Cornford said, you got to get Jazz. I said, well, does Jazz have a name?
Does he have a last name?
Yeah, it was just Jazz. And I said, send me his contact. He only sent me Jazz. so then I had texted this guy, and I'm like, hey, I'd love to have you on the show. By the way, what is your real name?
Right.
So we have a Jasmine Thin. Is it Thin? It's Thin, right?
Yep.
Jasmine Thin. And Jazz played at BC and then went to West Texas A&M, and Evan played at American River College, and then he's a world-traveling kayaker. Welcome, fellas.
Guys, great to have you here. I called Jazz's high school and BC career, and I was up there in the visitor stands a long, long time ago when they had that old beat-up wooden stand there. This was your quarterback for Frontier. That was your all-world receiver. His hands, amazing hands. But they also had this running back. And Coach Cornford had him start handing it to this running back, and he ran, I think it was like 13, 14 carries in a row all the way down the field. So even with his gun of an arm and those glue hands, they still went to Triton Douglas. It was double-digit times, I know that, but a great memory. I'll never forget it. And I bring that up, fellas, because you're a new school versus the old school. And whenever I think of Frontier football, the very first thought I have was that night, that game. We'll start with you, QB. What do you remember about playing on this Hollywood field here?
Oh, well, I think the number one thing I remember was it was a massive game. Huge implications. The stands were absolutely packed on both sides, and it was a physical football game.
Jazz, you remember that game?
Oh, yeah, it was so much fun. We've always had fun here. From our knowledge, I think we've never lost on this field. But senior year they did get us. We had some injuries, but they did get us that year.
I like
we've never lost on this field.
Never.
Old field, of course.
Guys, we talked pre-show coming on. I said, let it fly. Jazz, what does Frontier have to do to win tonight? Give me some keys for them to win this big game.
I think it goes back to when we were playing football too. Is control the line of scrimmage. We got some big boys on the line. We got to win the line of scrimmage, and. Not gonna lie, BHS does have good running game, so we gotta get our tackles. Don't miss our tackles. So.
Evan, I'll ask you the same question. What do Titans have to do to win this one?
I think playoff football, championship football is always going to come down to the line of scrimmage. Turnovers will be a big thing. See which quarterback can stay clean throughout this game. I think the turnovers will probably be the difference maker. And both these teams can run the ball, so I really think that whoever can control the turnover margin is going to win this game.
I like it. Big man?
I'm just marveling that Jazz and I'm assuming you're in the same boat, maybe one of the only people that can say, I've never lost on Griffith Field.
Very rare. Very rare.
And you're hoping that continues tonight, I assume,
guys,
right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, so Evan, I do have one thing that every quarterback's got to do when they're on air. They just always have to do it. Who were the five guys in front of you that year that protected you all year? Do you remember all their names? I remember a couple.
Yep. I had Colton Foster.
Oh,
I had
Big Colton.
Mitchell Rocha. I had Gabe Valoff. I had Ivan Kozarov,
Wow.
and then Steven Mita were my 5 offensive linemen. I can't forget them. Those were big boys.
These guys, he knows everybody that played in front of him, man.
Yep.
Now, and plus, Stan, now I'm glad you asked that question because now I'm going back in that year. You guys had some horses in there. Wow,
Absolutely.
that's
incredible.
incredible.
Those were big boys, and the game on this field was controlled by the line of scrimmage.
It was.
I mean, I think in that game I had 10 quarterback sneaks. We're just taking the ball and going.
That's another great point you made because Brian Adams was my partner and a longtime driller, and he was up there with me. And you kept handing the ball to Triton, or you would run it. Hand the ball to Triton. You were out just running routes. Just, hey, and it was but then you caught a couple big passes too that night as well. That was big. That was huge. Jazz, I want to get your feel for tonight the importance of Campbell in that pocket and looking for his guys downfield as a receiver tonight. They've got to help their QB.
100%. Yeah. The first thing is bringing the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball the whole time, and get open for the quarterback. Run your crisp routes and get open. Make it easy for a quarterback.
And you know what? I'd like to point out, I think that night you fell down 14-0, right? Wasn't that the game you fell down 14-0?
We were down 14-0 quick and then down 21-7 and ended up tying it up before half.
Yeah.
And then the second half was just a slog. We ended up winning 28-21.
I'll never forget it.
Yep, it was a physical football game. That last drive that you're talking about, if I remember correctly, we had the ball left with 9 minutes or so.
It was
we
incredible.
got the ball on the 10-yard line right here and all the way down and gave him the ball back with about 20 seconds on the clock.
Absolutely incredible. We have 30 seconds left. Just enough time to, I don't know, guess who you're going to pick. But not only give us your pick, but tell us why you're making the pick. We'll start with you, Jazz.
And a score.
It's about time.
A score. Stan wants to score.
Bring home the Valley Championship. So, of course, Frontier, I believe the score would be 28-21.
28-21, Jazz Thin. Right. What an incredible receiver, and it was so fun to call your games. I'm so glad I saw you the other night. All right, QB, who wins and what's the score?
I have to go with the Titans, first ever Valley Championship for this school. And I'm going to go a low-scoring game. I'm going to go 21-17. I know there's some good kickers out here, so I expect to see a field goal made at least one tonight. So I'll go 21-17.
Gentlemen, we can't thank you enough for being flexible, being accessible, being open, being ready. We're glad that you're here. You've made this show a heck of a lot better. Thank you very much. Evan, Jazz, great to have you. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it, man. That's big time. Man, that was fun. We'll be back fourth quarter. Can't believe we're almost done with the fourth.
Valley Strong's youth accounts help kids practice earning and spending in the real world.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Because when we plant financial literacy young, it grows the rest of their lives.
We are back. We told you we don't mess around here. We get stuff done. Our director, Alex, counts us off. All of a sudden, the principal of Bakersfield High School is our new director, leaning in on the camera, making sure the lighting's right. Javier from Achieve Magazine, from the Kern High School District, taking all our shots. This has been a fun night, Stan. Thank you so much for all these guests you're getting. I mean, we're going big time. But now, we're taking it up even another notch with our guests. You have reached into the vault of access that only Stan Green can have. Trevor's back with us. Well, who's this guy?
He is the Mount Rushmore of equipment guys.
No.
We
The
talk
whole
about
mountain?
that in coaching.
You're all four heads?
Man, we talk about that in coaching, like the Mount Rushmore of coaches. This guy right here, he started out as an IA at Shafter.
Wow.
Then he was a campus security
Tell
at
us what our
North,
audience knows what an IA is.
an instructional assistant in the classroom. And then he was a campus security at North High. He spent his last 19 years the equipment manager at Frontier. Last year, they celebrated his 500th football game at Frontier High School.
Nobody's seen more football games at Frontier than me.
Kevin Ross.
I can guarantee that.
For a guy that's 45 years old, man, you started a young time. Kevin, take all college athletes here, and I'll tell you, man, the equipment guy. I'll start at the equipment part side. That's no easy gig. That's no fun gig, and I won't ask the obvious question of what your most salient memory is, but do take us down a walk of memory lane as far as your life in the Kern High School District. It's had to have been extremely rewarding in a lot of senses.
Oh, I've I know so many people and meet so many people, and they come up and Coach Ross. I mean, you got to remember, before the 19 years as an equipment guy, I coached 24 years, and I was at Shafter, Garces, Highland, BC. I did a stint with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We won the World Championship in 2001 against the Yankees. As a scout, I was with them, you know. So, I mean, I've had a lot of memories with athletes, and, I mean, some great people. These guys you had on earlier, I mean, I remember playing BHS here, and we're not as big as we are now, but we had a pretty big line. And Evan Moore, quarterback sneak from our 20-yard line all the way down the field. Every play, we ran for a quarter and a half and scored a touchdown, and we ended up winning that game by a touchdown.
We were just talking about it with those guys. Between Evan Moore and Triton Douglas, it was just a ground game all the way.
Should I follow Colton Foster or not?
Right.
Just saw him 2 weeks ago at the Centennial game. He came and had to get a Frontier hat because his wife was from Centennial. So
that is a side of beef right there, man.
When I taped him, it took 4 rolls of tape. The most tape I ever taped using for one guy. And the first thing he said to me when he came up and said, "Hey, Coach Ross," and gave me a hug, is, "I appreciate all those tape jobs."
And now he's doing it.
So did Johnson & Johnson.
Exactly. We're here with Kevin Ross, long-time, well-known name in the current high school district. Trevor, you're up now, buddy.
Ross, when you think about, they had a celebration for you on senior night.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is my last home game. I'm going to love it.
Wow.
And then you guys are gifted the number 3 seed here in the Division 1A. You guys thought possibly you're going to go in Division 1, and you got 2 more games.
Yeah.
And a win tonight, you may get another one in 2 weeks. How do you soak these extra moments in these, like, the gravy trains, if you will?
Well, you can't lose. I mean, if we win, we're going on, we're playing, it's great. And if we lose, hey, I get to put all the gear away and then wash it up and don't have to do football anymore. Football's the toughest one.
Yeah.
You got the most athletes, you got 3 teams, you got 60, 70, 80 guys on a team. It's a lot of gear to take care of and clean. And, I mean, I won't get home tonight until probably 2 in the morning after doing laundry, and those are long nights, but it is what I do, and I've been doing it for 19 years. So.
I love it, brother.
I had a question about you, the greatest memory, but this just hit me. I want to ask you, football, what position is the highest maintenance?
The highest maintenance.
Yeah, you got 19 years of experience. Who's the highest maintenance position?
Well, it's always taking care of the quarterback. I mean, he's got to have.
Are you saying quarterbacks are prima donna?
Hey, welcome to our world.
Everything's got to be. Their jersey's got to fit right. Their pants got to fit right. The linemen don't care if they're 2 sizes too big.
Coach, our Friday mornings with the huddle starts at like 5:30 a.m. with him waking up Trevor and I. Do this, do that, get this done, make sure that's right. I mean, we know. Thanks for enjoying our pain.
A quarterback will get a haircut and all of a sudden want to come in and change the size of his helmet.
Oh, thank you, God, for Coach Ross laying that out. All right, we got to get to the business at hand. We need your prediction for tonight and why. We need your prediction. And what do you have?
I want to ask one. We got one last thing. So I know that you're not getting out after you're retiring. You're going to be involved in something. What is it?
Okay, I guess my wife's told me she's got to work 2 to 3 more years. So Gibson has dialed me in, and I am going to be the boys and girls golf coach at Frontier until my wife retires.
Right on.
And Bandy is going to be the boys' assistant. And I got one of the assistant softball coaches going to help me on the girls that's already on the girls' staff right now.
I love it.
That's like the golden handshake right there on the way out. You get to coach golf and go play golf.
I still get to be around, and I get to be at the golf course.
Okay, look, slacker. Here's this is your time right now. You got to make a pick and tell us why the pick.
All right, I will say it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a really good game. I'm thinking it's going to be 21-14.
Ooh.
And I think I like us because of our size on the line.
Okay.
I go that running back, I mean, he can bust it any time, so you can't say you're going to shut him out. We shut him out last year, and it was a fluke. I mean, we were the only team, I think, to hold him under 100 yards.
Yeah.
But that was last year. I mean, everything's different this year, but our guys are motivated. They've had a couple good weeks of practice. We started here this year.
Yep.
We scrimmaged these guys, and they didn't score an offensive touchdown against us. They scored on a scoop and score. So I like our chances, and I think it's going to be a close, well-played game, and we're as healthy as we've been since the start.
Good.
The future coach of the U.S. Ryder golf team. Coach, thanks, buddy.
Hey.
Enjoy tonight. Enjoy your late night. We appreciate having you here.
Me and Vance used to coach against each other when we were JV basketball coaches, him at West and me at North.
Back in the heavy trenches. Heavy trenches.
And you love that 21-14 score. You've seen that a couple of weeks in a row.
Hey, that's why I'm sticking with it.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll see you after the game.
All right.
Coming up fourth quarter, we've got a Hall of Famer. We finally snagged a Hall of Famer, and we can't wait. Back in the fourth quarter.
Valley Strong's youth accounts help kids practice earning and spending in the real world.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Because when we plant financial literacy young, it grows the rest of their lives.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter. We have very little time left. Stands are getting packed. We're so stoked to be with you. I'm your host, Vance Palm, Director of School Support Services. Stan Green, our boss, the visionary, our soldier in the trenches, Trevor Horn, who's been covering it from the ground level since day one of In the Huddle, our director, Alex, and Javier the Glue. Danielle, thank you for everything you're doing, keeping us on target, because Danielle's got something planned at the end of this field goal kicking contest at the end of the fourth quarter. But beforehand, it took me 5 years to get this guy to do an interview with me. It took me 5 years. It takes Stan 5 minutes to get this guy, but I'm so stoked to have a Hall of Famer with us, and he knows how I feel about him, how we all feel about him. We couldn't have an In the Huddle for a game this big without this gentleman right here. Stan, no. You're the boss. You do the intros, but love this guy.
I would just like to lead in with, when you have a school that's 120-something years old, and you go, hey, we want to get somebody on a game, or who's the top players, and there's about 4 or 5 people in 120 years. We got one of them tonight, and he's an iconic player that played at this school. He set records after records. He ran a 4.3 in the 40 when a 4.3 was really a 4.3. He was probably faster than that. Wow. He had 2,700 yards in 1994 with 41 touchdowns. His most amazing thing, he had 107 touchdowns in his high school career.
That's it?
Lord knows how many got called back. 7,100 yards. This dude rushed for 5 miles in high school.
And the first California player. You think about that. The first player in the Golden State to score 100 touchdowns. And think about all the players that have been in this state. Stan, thanks for bringing along our man Steve. Steve, it's just an unbelievable accomplishment, everything you put together. Steve Walfer, by the way. I mean, we know him, so we're not giving his last name. Right, we're not giving his last name. We all have some questions for you.
Sure.
I'll start out with this one. Just like Coach Provençal, been in big games, you've been around, you're still coaching, working with the youth, you've been on the microphone, you've done it all.
Yes.
But there's still got to be a little bit of juice in you going, ooh, tonight's game time.
Yeah, tonight's game, this is different. This is different. This is the way it's supposed to feel. In a Valley Championship game. This is what I wanted the kids to be able to feel. It's a feeling that you'll never be able to, it'll never get old. And, they're witnessing it right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how this game shakes out.
Before I turn it over to the other two cats, Coach Sheehy and what he's put together,
yes.
You know him very, very well. You've known him for a lot of years. Kind of walk us through what you think he's thinking, your assumptions of what is going through his mind here with just a few minutes left.
I think he's telling them it's all about blocking and tackling. Just remembering the basics. The game is real simple. Like I said, it just comes down to blocking and tackling and making sure that we don't make the big mistakes that'll hurt us in the long run. And just playing sound football. Remembering where they came from the beginning of the season to where we are now is a totally different team. I think they're starting to believe a lot more now than they did at the beginning of the season. And, we're just going to ride that wave, and hopefully we can get a victory tonight.
Stan and Trevor, you both got a question, and then we're going to get into picks. Mr. Walfer's going to be making picks with us tonight. Stan?
You've been here many times.
Yes.
And you're out on the field right now. What are you feeling as Steve Wofford? You're out there right now. What's going through your mind?
A lot of nerves. I think as a football player, you're ready to get that first hit. Once you get that first hit, now the game starts. And it's the build-up leading up to that point. You already done the preparation part of it, so now it's just going out there and being able to showcase what you worked on. Kind of like being in the classroom, studying for a test, and knowing that you have all the answers for it, makes you feel that much better. So, I think once they get that first hit out of the way, then they get like a sigh of relief, and then now the game starts.
That's a great point.
I think the team that relaxes the most at the beginning will come out to a fast start, and then they'll settle in later. But it's going to be key to whoever can relax the quickest and get into their sets and whatever they want to do offensively and defensively.
Save your pick. Save that pick, even though we could be a surprise pick, but save it. Trevor, before we get into picks, I can't imagine with the life you've lived, digging in the statistics world and making a great living at doing what you do, being around covering him when he was playing.
God, I wish.
Can you imagine?
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Look at that crowd already.
Yes.
Okay, now turn around.
I like it.
Now turn around.
Yeah, it's big.
I like it.
Think about it. It's been 36 years
yes.
since 1988, since 2 public schools in Bakersfield played for a Division I championship.
Wow.
And now here we are again. When you think about it, and you guys all talk on social media, you guys all text with each other.
Yes.
Frontier guys, BHS guys, guys that are from West or wherever, Liberty, they all talk. In your mind, how in the last 15 years, how big is this game?
It's huge, man. I mean, I can't even really put into words how big this game is. Like I said, I'm just glad that the kids are being able to play in this kind of game. You got parents coming out from out of town, and just people from all over want to come see this game.
You got chills?
I got chills.
Let me give you some
chills.
numbers. Let me go by the numbers real quick for you guys, real quick. 1, Frontier seeking their first section championship after losing their first time in 2009, just the third year of their program.
Okay.
2, the second and final appearance for Frontier. How about this? 7, the number of state championships won on the field by BHS.
Yeah.
Still tied with De La Salle for the most all time. 36, the year since the 2 schools from the Kern High School District played in the Division I championship. I thank Bob Barnett for that nugget, our Central Section historian. 37, the number of section titles the BHS has won. Number 2 behind De La Salle. They win tonight. They tie De La Salle. De La Salle still got to get through Pittsburgh tonight to get number 39. And then how about this one? Thanks to Mark Tennis over at Cal High for keeping this stat. 823 career wins for BHS. 1 behind Long Beach Poly for all time in the state history.
Tonight's huge.
Tonight's huge. So BHS had it for decades, and then Long Beach Poly had a great run, and there was a little run. They started to win 10, 12 games every year, and they took over.
Yeah.
Well, they only got 6 wins this year. The Drillers' 12th win this year will tie them. How cool is that?
That's cool.
This is some big time numbers here. So, and Trevor, thank you for that, because I'm going to lay that out on the air tonight during the game. That's a ton of content right there that I'm going to lay out on the game. Trevor, it's time to make picks.
Yep.
You set them up.
Alex,
throw that slide up, and she'll put the slide up, and then Trevor.
It's already up. She's on it.
All right, you make your pick. Stan will make his pick. Steve will make his pick, and then let's go.
All right, we got 3 games with Kern High School District programs playing tonight in the Division VI semifinals. Number 12, Miramonte, is at number 1, Minarets out of O'Neill's. It might get a little rain up there. How they got there, Miramonte beat Kern Valley 56-39, and then last week beat number 4, Fireball, 21-14. Josh Allen was so mad about that game, he went out and beat the Chiefs the next 2 days later.
Wow.
Minarets beat number 16, Tranquility, 41-14. They beat Boron last week, 49-12. The Skinny can't find 2 polar opposite offenses. It's all Nate Gonzalez all day, all night for Miramonte. He's got 2,034 rushing yards, leads the Central Section. Compare that to the Buchanan transfer, the junior Torrin Wolf has passed for 2,600 yards this year. If the run game, if Miramonte can control the ball, they can win this game tonight. That X factor will be the weather. I have the advantage going the Lions. 21-20, Miramonte going to the section finals next week.
Steve Walford.
I'm going Miramonte.
Ground game.
I'm going Miramonte. Rushing game all day.
Always on the ground.
Miramonte's hot. They're the hottest team. They're the biggest surprise. It's going to be Miramonte. CJ's got them dialed in running the ball.
Yes, he does.
I'm double M as well. Trevor.
All right, Division 4 semifinals. Number 1, Shafter, 10-1, hosting number 5, Emmanuel Aderile, who are 10-2. Eagles got there by beating number 12, being the 12 seed and the 5 seed, both of those games, 22-21 finales. Whereas Generals beat North High 56-7. We won't talk about Levinson about that game too much. Emmanuel opened up the season with 4 consecutive shutout wins over 4 teams. They went just 12-30, so it doesn't really tell me much because they weren't playing great competition. Very run-heavy team, which means if Shafter can get up on them early and often, Shafter should be able to pull this one away, especially with Marion Sloan playing in the backfield and doing what he did last week at 180 yards, and he had 4 total touchdowns, catching, receiving, and a fumble recovery. Great game. Shafter 42-21.
Steve, Shafter, Generals.
Yeah.
Winning big.
Shafter's hot, man. They're healthy, they're hot, and Shafter's going to roll them tonight.
So our first 2 games, unanimous choices. Game 3, I don't know about that.
I don't think it's going to happen here, ladies and
Frontier
gentlemen.
at BHS. Trevor, shoot away.
Oh my gosh, does it get any better than this here at Bakersfield? No, it does not. BHS beat San Joaquin Memorial in the first round 23-7. They beat Arroyo Grande 24-21. The Titans beat Bullard and Centennial in the first 2 rounds, both 21-14. The Skinny, well, we seemingly have forgotten all about the fact that Frontier drove 1,600 miles in the first 4 weeks since they've been back to town. They've won 7 of the last 8. The Drillers, they had all those shutout wins to start the season. I see 2 very close teams. I've got this one, BHS 31, Frontier 28.
T-Horn, BHS. Steve Wofford.
Drillers.
Okay, but give us a little bit of insight, score or gap, or what do you think?
I'm thinking it's going to be 21-28 Drillers.
We hear that. That's like you're the 4th person with that score.
21-28 Drillers.
All right. I got in trouble for wearing a Frontier hat because my head was freezing. I got made poster board. So this one, I think it's going to be a toss-up. And it says exactly what I thought it would say. Instant classic.
Hey, we did a survey on Instagram this week, and we had 4,300 pollsters answer.
Wow.
67% of them said Bakersfield High School.
Uh-huh.
But Frontier is going to control the line of scrimmage. They're going to run between the tackles just like they had Steve Wofford. They're going to control offensive and defensive line. I got Frontier winning 27-17, and it kills me to say that because I love the Drillers, man. It's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your Drillers are?
Steve, thank you. I know you're going to enjoy this game wherever you're at.
I appreciate it.
True legend. Great to have a Hall of Famer on with us. Steve Wofford in the 4th quarter.
Thanks.
Okay, you ready to go?
We're ready to go,
All right,
buddy.
we're going to switch over. We are now going to... Is it okay? Thanks, Stephen. No problem. All right, we're going remote, and we're going to do a field goal kicking contest.
Let's go.
Stan.
I'll hold it.
A holder. Stan's going to be Charlie Brown. Stan's going to be Charlie Brown. Hey, we're back here. Let's go. We're going.
Got to be somebody. Hey, we got $50.
Okay, hold on. What do we got, Stan?
We got $50 to the winner. $50 gift card to In-N-Out. You like In-N-Out? Yes, sir. Okay, if you like Chick-fil-A more, lose on purpose. All right? All right, here we go.
Okay, so who's closest to, who's got a birthday coming up closest?
My birthday passed. Mine was just in October.
All right.
Boom, there you go.
Mine was October 2nd.
And when's yours?
30th.
October. Oh, so you're the oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Trevor's gonna judge. Yeah, you're the official, Trevor. Like, you know, if we're going with the youngest. Okay, give us your name, what school you go to, and what class you're in.
My name is Jack K. Miller. I am the class of 2027. I go to Bakersfield High School.
Jack, Bakersfield High School. Stan, where are we going with this, big guy? Where do you want?
Ideally, he's going to need to go through the uprights.
I mean, where are you going to post it, smart guy?
Oh, well, can you make it from right here?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, here we go. We're gonna go.
Okay, Jack.
Are you right-footed? We're not going to Charlie Brown this, okay? All right.
Okay, again, Jack, your last name again?
K. Miller.
Jack K. Miller. Stan, you hold it with the other finger, Stan.
I don't want my right hand.
Okay, Jack, I would say this is, Trevor, Trevor, what, 35 yards? What is this? 30 yards. Okay, Jack. Let me get out of the way. All right, Jack, hey, what's going through your head?
Kind of looking for that H&O right now, or more the M&E, because if you don't really want to kick towards the field goal.
So you're looking at the scoreboard like a golfer looks down the road. All right, everybody, Jack, Bakersfield High School. He's going, I thought he was going to go George Blanda, super toe. Here we Our director of school support services worried about a broken finger. Come on, Jack, let's go, buddy. It's up and oh my goodness, get through. Oh, dude, not even close, man. Wow. Yeah. Okay, next up, young man. Well, no, don't be confident. You kidding me?
Hey, I'm ready.
All right. Your first and last name, what school do you go to?
My name is Landon Ellis. I go to Frontier High School.
Landon, what year in school are you?
I'm currently a senior.
A senior. Landon Ellis, a senior. Hey, Landon, he put the pressure on, dude. That's a big-time kick. If you miss this, you have to go back for your senior year, Stan said. All right, this is it. Does he have it? Landon Ellis, it's up, and it's wide left. Congratulations to both of you. Congratulations. We appreciate it. Thank you. Stan's got all the goods. Wow. Trevor, hustle over. Stan, come here, big guy. Trevor, hurry up.
Come on, Trevor.
Come on, get in the shot here, guys. Trevor, get in here, buddy. On behalf of our two big-time kickers, congratulations. Thanks for being with us. For our Director of School Support Services, Stan, Trevor, thank you for all the hard work. We got a big football game coming up here.